Dharmasthala. A name that means a sanctuary of righteousness. For millions, it's a beacon of faith and justice where Lord Manjunatha is worshipped and the Hegade family dispenses tradition-bound justice. The air is thick with incense, temple bells, and the legacy of charity. But beneath this serene devotion, another Dharmasthala exists, one haunted by fear and unresolved tragedy. Here, mothers worry for their children, young women vanish, and bodies are found under mysterious circumstances. The temple bells can't drown out the silent screams of families who've lost loved ones without answers. For many locals, especially the marginalized, the promise of protection is an illusion. Speaking out is dangerous. Questioning authority brings threats or silence. The town's duality, sacred on the surface, shadowed beneath, exposes a deep moral crisis. This is the story of a place where faith and fear walk side by side, and where truth struggles to be heard. Dharmasthala's darkness didn't begin with a single case, it's a pattern of ignored deaths and disappearances. The victims are often young, marginalized, and powerless, their lives dismissed by a system that values status over justice. Families search in vain, their pleas ignored, their loved ones reduced to statistics. Investigations are perfunctory, evidence is lost, and the official story is always the same: suicide, accident, or misfortune. Consider the teenage girl whose body was found months after she vanished, her family's grief met with indifference. Or the young man, ruled a suicide despite no signs of despair, his family silenced by intimidation. Each case follows a chilling script: a disappearance, a lackluster investigation, a hasty conclusion, and a family left in the dark. Those who question the narrative face threats and isolation. The cycle of violence and silence creates an atmosphere of impunity. These are not isolated tragedies, they are the lived reality for many in Dharmasthala. The system protects itself, not its most vulnerable. Justice for these families remains a distant dream. On October 9, 2012, 17-year-old Soujanya vanished on her way home from college. Her family's desperate search ended in horror. Her body was found 2 days later, brutally assaulted and murdered. The authorities responded with narrative control, not compassion. Within hours, police arrested Santosh Rao, a mentally unstable man, and declared the case closed. But Soujanya's family saw through the convenient resolution. They pointed to inconsistencies. How could one frail man commit such a crime? Why was evidence mishandled? Why were other suspects ignored? The family believed Santosh Rao was a scapegoat, shielding powerful perpetrators. They demanded a CBI investigation, hoping for impartiality. Their fight became a public battle, exposing the town's dark underbelly. The system's priority was protecting its image, not delivering justice. For Soujanya's family, the struggle for truth had just begun. Their cry for justice echoed the pain of countless others. In a town where silence is survival, Bhima dared to speak. He witnessed 3 influential young men near the spot where Soujanya's body was found, contradicting the official story. Bhima's testimony threatened the powerful, suggesting the real culprits were being protected. He faced threats, intimidation, and isolation, his life upended for telling the truth. The system worked to discredit and silence him, rather than protect a key witness. Yet, Bhima's courage inspired activists and fueled protests. He became a symbol of resistance, a reminder that conscience can defy oppression. His ordeal revealed how deeply the system is invested in suppressing inconvenient truths. In Dharmasthala, seeking justice means risking everything. In the darkness behind Dharmasthala's sacred walls, a man named Ramu was forced to dig graves no one would ever see. Ramu, a Dalit worker at a temple hostel, was summoned after dark, ordered to dig a pit, his hands trembling as he unearthed the cold earth. He saw the body of a young woman, her features barely visible in the dim light. He was told to bury her, to ask no questions, and to forget. This was not the first time. Ramu's caste made him invisible, his labor exploited, his pain ignored. Whenever he asked about the victims, he was threatened. Anonymous warnings slipped under his door, his family shunned, his livelihood at risk. In 2023, Ramu escaped. He recorded a secret audio confession, naming those who gave the orders, describing the burials, and revealing where the bodies lay. His testimony was submitted to the authorities, but no arrests followed. The pit was never excavated. One of the girls matched a missing student from 2014. Ramu's story is not just a footnote. It is the hidden truth of those whose suffering is buried beneath the surface. They told me God watches everything. I hope he was watching that night. A credible investigation relies on evidence, but in Soujanya's case, Evidence was systematically erased. The crime scene was contaminated, crucial items mishandled or lost, and biological samples rendered useless. The autopsy was rushed and incomplete. Requests for a second post-mortem were denied. Key evidence vanished in police custody, making a fair trial impossible. This wasn't incompetence, it was sabotage, protecting the guilty. After years of legal battles, Santosh Rao was acquitted for lack of evidence. The court condemned the shoddy investigation, but justice for Soujanya remained elusive. The real perpetrators were never brought to trial. The system didn't just fail, it was built to fail, ensuring impunity for the powerful. In Dharmasthala, justice is engineered to disappear. To understand Dharmasthala's injustice, look beyond a single case, see the web of power, caste, and influence. The Hegedi family's authority extends from temples to schools, hospitals, and politics, creating a near-feudal order. Caste dynamics ensure that victims from marginalized communities are ignored, while the powerful are shielded. Witnesses are silenced, activists threatened, and journalists pressured. Fear is pervasive. Challenging the system brings real danger. Crimes by the elite are covered up, evidence disappears, and scapegoats are found. This isn't just a policing failure, it's a failure of democracy at the local level. The fight for justice is a fight against an entire oppressive system. In Dharmasthala, unchecked power and ancient hierarchies create a zone of lawlessness. The struggle is not just for one victim, but for the soul of the community. For over a decade, Soujanya's parents have turned grief into a relentless quest for justice. Their home became a movement's headquarters, their courage inspiring thousands. They faced threats, slander, and financial ruin, but refused to be silenced. A grassroots movement grew. Students, activists, and citizens demanding accountability. Protests and social media campaigns brought national attention, but the system remained unmoved. Even after Santosh Rao's acquittal, the family rejected the verdict, demanding a real investigation. Their fight is now for all forgotten victims, a stand against a corrupt system. Their resilience is a testament to the power of love and the human spirit. What is Dharma ritual charity, or the pursuit of justice for all? Dharmasthala, the so-called abode of righteousness, is stained by unresolved crimes and silenced victims. The call for justice is a call to restore the true meaning of Dharma: accountability for all, regardless of power or caste. Those who failed in their duty must be held responsible. Impunity cannot stand. We must remember the victims challenge the narratives of power and refuse to forget. This is not just a local tragedy, it reflects a national crisis of justice and equality. The fight for Soujanya is a fight for democracy's soul. We must demand transparency, protect whistleblowers, and support the families who refuse to give up. The Dharma of our times is to stand with the wronged and pursue the truth, no matter how difficult. Only then can we hope to cleanse the stain of injustice. The final verdict will be written by our actions or our silence.